Hi, my name is Allen Largen, and my brief was to design a shoe that would be featured in Popular Science, which is this magazine right here. I really looked into Popular Science, and I started reading an article in the magazine. I saw that there was an International Space Station, and it's a growing investment from NASA. And I started reading about the astronauts, and I saw that they had to work out 4 hours a day, which is just ridiculous, on top of everything else that they have to do. And the reason they have to work out is because they lose bone density because they're in a weightlessness environment. So they have to do workouts like resistance squats, running on a treadmill with the harness, but it still doesn't cut it. They still lose a lot of bone density and muscle density. So as a basketball player, I play basketball, and I was looking at ways that coaches make our muscles stronger. And a lot of our workouts are making us run on the balls of our feet. So when you run on the balls of your feet, it forces you to flex your calf muscles and work your muscles a lot harder. So with my shoe, I really wanted a very lightweight, comfortable shoe. I talked to some people from Nike, and they said that, that had worked at NASA, and they said that being in a weightlessness environment, you can't really adapt, so you're already irritable. You don't want something that's heavy or something that has a really uncomfortable lace system or a lot of material on it. So I was really going for a sock-like fit.
Okay.
So I played around with different cushioning. And so as you can see, this is the shoe without the heel piece on it. Comes out, and then you can put on this lacing system that works kind of like a donut, and it locks in, lockdown fit for when you're running.
Yeah.
But then you want to relax, do something else, pop the heel piece back on, and then you're good to go with your resistance squats, everything else. Very comfortable shoe. With the medial side, just playing around with the cushioning, getting it higher up so it really cushions their foot and they feel more comfortable. And
These
then
are some of the early drafts?
Yeah, these are some of the early drafts down here. Just playing around with the higher cut, different compressions, different padding systems.
What made you go with a lower cut?
The function of trying to get it on and off.
Oh, okay.
So the higher you have it with the sole, the less space you have to put your foot in. And they don't have a lot of time to be worrying about how to get their shoe on and off. So that's really why I went to the lower cut, more comfortable. They can put their socks on too. And so aesthetically, with the bottom of the shoe, I looked at the first footprint on the moon from
Oh, you went and found like a picture of the
yeah,
first? Okay.
And
they did your research.
Yeah, so the sole for the astronaut boot was very simple, just bars going straight across. So I didn't want to do anything really crazy with it. So, and they don't leave footprints in space, obviously, because they're inside on the space station. But just it gives that same aesthetic view, putting gel pods in to absorb a lot of the shock, heel gel, and then the way the bars come up on the lateral side, it's mimicking the solar panels, because the solar panels are in pairs on the outside of the ship, so it gives it that same look, functional at the same time as well.
I also see you been an accessory.
Yes, with the accessory, I went with the workout watch, so it really helps them monitor their time when they're working out. So the watch, carbon fiber, not an adjustable watch, it's just a very flexible, kind of like the sock-like part of the shoe, to where it just expands.
It expands on your wrist.
Like a bracelet.
Yes.
So it's carbon fiber cutting out areas to make it very lightweight, because when they do take off to go into space from Earth, every ounce counts. It takes a lot of fuel to obviously push that ship up into flight, so every ounce counts because they need as much water, food, clothing as possible. So really trying to make this lightweight, very thin, and it has a heart rate monitor right here on your wrist, so that it can track your pulse to see how hard you're working out, see if you're getting better with your heart rate, and then you can also track your time when you're running and your pace when you're running. So it really ties into the whole shoe with the accessory.
What's the price?
The price is about $120. It's a very simple upper, but it's made just for astronauts, so it's very specialized for them, so it makes them, for the emotional feel of the shoe, want it. It's not like a Nike trainer or an Adidas trainer to where it's made for all types of sports. It's just for an astronaut.
Okay.
So it would make them want to buy it because it's specialized for them.
I see you have ASICS competition. Now, why would ASICS be competition of all companies?
Actually, I was very surprised because they made a shoe for some of the astronauts in space on the international.
ASICS has astronaut shoes?
Yeah, for the
See?
International Space Station.
I've learned something new.
It's about 4.8 ounces, but just looking at it, it doesn't look very comfortable with the lace system. Not a very thick sole to absorb a lot of the shock.
Yeah.
So I really try to improve on that. And then I really didn't want to tie it to any brand.
Yeah, so
trying to like improve my skills without putting a Nike swoosh on it or a Jordan logo.
I say, what is this logo?
That is my own logo that I made for myself.
Okay.
It has all the initials because my initials are APL, so it makes an A, but then you also have the P and the L.
I like that. Okay.
So Allen Largen Concepts is the name that I came up with, and so I don't know, just kind of playing with it more, maybe with the whole thing of building the shoe, kind of getting into it, building a relationship with NASA and the International Space Station to where we do more and more models of the shoe. I kind of get into that part of it. So,
thank you. I appreciate
no problem.
that.